Jace, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I am ready too. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to My Golf DNA. Today is Tour Pro Analysis time, and what a good time it is because we are fresh off this weekend's PGA Championship with Xander Schauffele picking up his first career major victory. So congratulations to Xander, and what a weird, and I mean weird, golf tournament it was. A lot of strange stuff going on, huh, Jace?
Just a couple strange things.
Yeah, we had Xander start off the week by shooting 62, which was ridiculous. We had world number one get arrested and t-shirts made on the same day with his face on it. So shout out to the t-shirt company that made that happen. And then we have Shane Lowry on Saturday putting for 61 from like 8 feet. I feel like he should have made that.
He should have made it.
Should have made it. But to cap off a really awesome Saturday and Sunday at the PGA Championship, we had Xander Schauffele make a 6-footer on the 18th hole to win his first career victory. And he drove the ball sensationally from Thursday through Sunday. In fact, he hit, how many fairways did he hit, Jace?
He hit 73% of them.
73% of the fairways, and the guy produces 180 to 185 miles an hour of ball speed, and he's only 5'10". He's gassing the golf ball. So today what we're going to do is we're going to step inside the lab, you and I, and we're going to take a good long look at this golf swing from beginning to end, and we're going to focus in on the key areas that allow him to be so consistent off the tee week in and week out. And then I got some good news for you. Later on, actually tomorrow, we're going to be releasing a video with one of my favorite drills that's going to teach you how to hit a high draw. That's right. Jason and I are going to be heading out onto the range, and we're going to show you one of my favorite drills that helps get your hands and your arms in the right spot in transition and helps you sync it up perfectly through the bottom so that you can start hitting that high draw off the tee. And then later on in the week, we're going to be releasing the third and final video of the Mastering Your Weight Transfer series. And hopefully you guys are excited for that one because we're going to be doing the Ground Power U drill, which we're going to talk a little bit about here today. So you guys ready? Strap on your seatbelts. Let's get to work. So there's one order of business that I want to show you guys here before we jump into the analysis, and that is very much to do with the setup position. When you look at Xander and you look at Tiger, both from the PGA Championship, one of the things that I like to do as a golf instructor is I like to show people the little small adjustments that players make in order to be able to create curvature. We know that curvature with modern day ball flights is a byproduct of the path. We want small adjustments to the path in order to be able to produce small amounts of curvature. You want to be able to control your golf ball, especially at the highest level. When you look at Tiger from a down the line perspective, if I were to walk up from a down the line standpoint and put a shaft across his forearms, we would notice that that shaft would be pointed well out towards left field in relationship to his foot line. Where if we look at Xander, we can see that a little bit of that left forearm is poking out. We can see that his shoulder line, his foot line, and his hip line are much more in line with one another. That's a position that's set up for a straight ball to a small draw, where on the right-hand side of the screen, he's set up to be able to hit more of a fade. And that's exactly what Tiger produces here. Now, we're going to be using some different videos to do our analysis today because we wanted to be able to get some higher frames going here. But our focus points aren't necessarily just going to be on the setup. We're going to be focusing in on what Xander does so well with his trail arm through the takeaway and into the backswing, and gets it into a good spot where he can allow the arm structure to work back down in front of him the correct way without having to make a compensation. Now, as we start to watch Xander move here, one of the things that he does so well is he makes sure that his primary movement is load into this right hip and body turn. You can see that his hands and his arms are very straight and very relaxed into the takeaway. And he's going to keep both of his arms fairly straight a long way into the backswing. When we look at it from face on, you can see how wide his turn really is. But as he starts to finish off the backswing, you're going to notice that the trail arm begins to flex. And at the top of the backswing, you're going to notice that this forearm is very upright in relationship to the ground. A lot of you will get your forearm kind of flared back in this direction, and you'll get the right elbow way back in behind your torso, which is a very dominant position. It's a position that forces you to recover. And that recovery movement is a push movement that starts the hands and arms working too much in a horizontal fashion, and the club starts swinging on a bad path where you can't actually release the club properly. Now, from this position at the top of the golf swing, what you're going to notice is that Xander is now going to allow that right arm to stay upright. And he's going to bring that right elbow down towards his trail hip. Notice how in transition there's no big separation between the forearms and the elbows. That trail arm stays very upright. That's the key move that sets us up to be able to deliver the club with the same sort of release pattern day in and day out. When you think about the release, we want the release to be consistent. We want to make sure that we've got max club face control. We want minor adjustments to the path in order to be able to create the sort of shot shape that we're looking for. Now, when you look at Xander a little bit more in depth here, and you watch him, how he releases the club, what you're going to notice is that he goes into a lot of lateral side bend, far more than I would teach any of you at home to do. And the reason why he does this movement in his golf swing is because of what he does with his lead wrist at the top of the golf swing. We can see that he's got a lot of bowing in that lead wrist. And because he's got a lot of bowing in that lead wrist, as he starts the hands and arms down, we know that the club is going to be delofted, and we know that it's going to want to shut down pretty quickly. And so by tucking the right arm underneath and going into more lateral side bend, that's allowing the hands and arms to work more horizontal when you look at it from a face-on perspective, and allowing him to offset the closure in the club face with a little bit more forward shaft lean. And so what that looks like from face-on at impact, I'll take this back. As you can see that at the point of contact, he's got his hands well out in front of the club head. We know that modern day drivers are set up for very high launch and very low ball spin. But modern day golf is about hitting the golf ball a long ways and being able to look up and have control of the golf ball. That's what you're going to find with all the best players in the world. They've learned how to maximize their efficiency. They've learned how to generate a lot of force in the golf swing through their systems, but also be consistent at the same time. And Xander hitting as many fairways as he did is a pretty good testament to that. Now, one other final key piece before I teach you the video or teach you the drill later on in the week that's going to really set you up to be able to hit a high draw. We also have the Power U video coming out. And I want to show you from a face-on perspective what this is going to be working towards. And we're going to look at it from his belt buckle. We're going to mark it at the top of the golf swing. We're going to start looking at it through transition. And I'm going to put a dot on it every single step of the way. So here we are, getting fully seated onto our lead side. Now we're going to begin the processes of posting up on that lead leg. Now this is where the left hip starts to slow down and we start to release the club. And I want you to look at these dots. You can see that they form the shape of a U. This is a very powerful movement that you'll see most players that play this game at the highest level, man and women. They use this ground sort of movement to be able to get the hips to shift and to rotate. And if you can use the ground as one of the forces that helps you produce your clubhead speed, then you become a whole lot more efficient over the long haul. It's not about generating clubhead speed through the strength of your hands and your arms. It's about allowing your hands and your arms, system number 2 and number 3, to follow along with the body's movements to help you transfer energy and speed, but also be able to have minor adjustments to help you control your golf ball. And that's exactly what you're going to learn later on in the week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave us a like below. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post that up below as well. We look forward to seeing you guys in the high draw video and the Power U video later on in the week. Let's make it a great day.